everyone, I'm Ishani Bakshi, and on this channel I travel the world via books, meaning I'll be reading one book from every country in the world. And today I'm paying a visit to the UK. So the UK has so many popular and well-known authors, like from classics to current day, that it was definitely very hard choosing one book to review on my channel. But I went with the book that has been on my radar for a pretty long time, and that is A Study in Scarlet by Sir Conan Doyle, which is the first Sherlock book. Fun fact, for people who've watched my videos a long time, the tune I used in the start of my video, the reason I chose it is because it reminds me of the BBC theme song for the Sherlock show, which I absolutely love, which is another reason I chose to read A Study in Scarlet. So, other than just introducing Sherlock and what's into us, the base premise of A Study in Scarlet is that a man has been found dead in this abandoned house in London, and above his body is the word R-A-C-H-E had been written. And all of the detectives in London cannot solve this mystery, so they go to our Sherlock Holmes to see how he can help with this. Okay, so surprisingly, this is not as a well-loved book as I thought, because I was reading the Goodreads reviews before this video, and some people don't like it. But I really like this book. I am absolutely in love with Sherlock and Watson, and maybe that's because I'm influenced by my love for the show, but I think even by itself this stands pretty well and is a really good novel for anyone looking for a mystery. It's only like 200 pages long, so it's really short. That's a good thing. So here are a few reasons that I love A Study in Scarlet. Number one, the mystery, obviously. The mystery is so well done, and it's definitely aided by how Sherlock is so good at picking up the little deductions. For example, as I said earlier, these words are written on the wall in blood, and Sherlock can figure out that the person who wrote it has long fingernails because there are some blood scratched around the words that would not have been there if his fingernails did not do the scratching. And in conclusion, just the mystery is something that I can never expect. Good twists, good turns. So number two, another part of the book I really liked that is actually pretty hated is that halfway through the book we switched from Watson's POV to the POV, or like the backstory of the murderer, and we learned why he murdered the victim. I really like this part. It might have been my favorite part because it just delved into the emotion behind the story, and it made me really sympathize with the murderer, which I don't really do often, and it was a really good part. Definitely got me a little teary-eyed. So reason number three why I love this book is Sherlock Holmes. His character is probably one of the best characters I've read in a very long time, but he has many red flags. So to like him, you have to go completely blind to all his flaws. For example, sometime through the book, he killed a dog to prove a theory he had about the murder weapon. So if that puts you off, don't read this book. And also, he's just very smart. I love smart characters, how intelligent he is, all the deductions, how he solved the mystery. But another thing that I have something a little questionable about him is that he has no empathy for the victims. Case in point, he knows who the murderer is, but he still holds this knowledge because he wants to kind of hold it over the other inspectors because he wants them to think he's superior. But I still love him. He's a really fun character. Reason number five that I love this book is because it avoids some cliches in classic and mystery writing. First, because number one, it's not all about the mystery. It just has some other aspects. It goes into Watson's history, it goes into Sherlock's character, and it just delves into like the politics of how Sherlock's not gonna get the credit for the mystery even though he's the one that solved it and all that stuff. And also it avoided a thing in classic books that I really hate, which is the really complex, flowery writing that you use so many big words for no reason. And I think Sir Conan Doyle's writing is much more accessible, so I definitely recommend it for any beginner classics. Oh, sorry for the background noise. But in conclusion, this book is a 5 out of 5 stars. I will definitely be reading the other Sherlock books, and also the next book I'll be reviewing is also a mystery series, which is quite often compared to Sherlock, so that's something to get excited about, I suppose. In conclusion, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, hit like, hit subscribe, and turn on the notifications bell so you do not miss another video on my literary world tour. If you're interested in Sweden, check out my last video where I review A Man Called Uwe by Fredrik Backman. Bye guys.